up everybody? Welcome to my channel. Long time no see. It's been about 3 weeks since I last filmed and uploaded. If you don't know, that's because I did a Halloween series where I did a different Halloween look every other day in the month of October. And because of my poor planning, I was literally filming, editing, and uploading every other day in the month of October. So I just needed a small break. And so here I am back to filming. So today's video, I wanted to keep it kind of simple. I didn't really want to go through having to edit, you know, like a makeup tutorial or anything. So I'm going to go through products I regret buying. Alright, so I'm going to list all of the products in the order that I would do my makeup. So first thing is primer. This is the e.l.f. Plus Matte Control Primer with kaolin clay and tea tree. I thought this sounded really good at first because it has kaolin clay, and I know that that's supposed to help with like oil control and stuff like that, and then tea tree is supposed to help with like blemishes. And for a while I did kind of like this, but this is like a pure silicone primer, and then it just kind of started to feel really sticky and like slippery, and I feel that whenever I have this on, my foundation kind of slips and slides everywhere. So like if I put the primer on and then I put on foundation, it looks fine. But the moment I start putting on like powder and bronzer and highlighter and all that, I feel like the coverage just goes away and all of like the spots that I was trying to cover up come back up. And it's just, it's not the best. I think, yeah, I probably wouldn't buy this again. So that's the first one. The next one is another e.l.f. product, and I don't have anything against the brand. It's just that these happen to be products from the brand that I didn't like. So next up is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Now I'm holding the hydrating one, but I did have the original 16-hour concealer as well. The original Camo Concealer I do not like whatsoever. It is so drying, it is so matte, and I feel like it just made my under eyes look crusty. And every time I put it on, it looked fine, but within seconds I can see it oxidizing, and by the time it's set, it was like 2 or 3 shades darker than my natural skin tone. So then I'd have these like weird dark areas under my eyes, or after a while I started using it as a foundation, and even then I felt like I couldn't make it work. I do like the hydrating one so much better. This is definitely a step up from the original Camo Concealer. The reason I regret buying these is because I bought them as concealers. That's what they are. But I don't care for concealer. It's not a step or a product that I ever got into. I don't think I need it because I'm fortunate enough not to have dark circles. And even if I did, I wear glasses. So they're hidden anyways. The glasses create this kind of like natural brightening effect. So I just didn't need to buy concealers. The next thing I regret buying, I don't have it to show you. I'm gonna put a picture up right here of what it's supposed to be, but it is the Sylvia Gani BH Cosmetics palette. Now I honestly never was into the palette. It's colorful and it's pretty, but they're not the types of colors I would usually go for. They were darker and more muted, but I personally go, whenever I do use color, for something a little brighter and like more vibrant. Like it doesn't have to be neon, but just something a little more vibrant in a sense. And so the matte I never got any use out of, and then finally I depotted it, I dropped it, and it broke all the mattes except for this brown and this pink, and all I have left are the shimmers. The shimmers are actually really nice. I use these on a daily basis. I'm actually wearing one of them on my eyes right now, but like I wouldn't buy it just for the shimmers. I have these colors: a red, a purple, a gold, a pink, a champagne, and a bronze. I have that in like 10 other palettes in my collection, so there's really no real reason for me to have bought this. The next product I regret buying, I don't have it either, so I'm gonna put up a picture, is the Jaclyn Hill and Becca face palette. Now, if you have been watching my videos, you know that I actually took that palette and I panned it, or at least I tried to. I was able to pan the 2 blushes, I was able to pan the 2 highlighters, and the blushes look like I never touched them despite me using them every single day. For years, before like even starting the project pan, I had that palette for about 2 or 3 years, and I used those blushes all the time, and it's like there wasn't even a dent. So then finally, I didn't want to keep the palette just for those 3 blushes, so I crushed them all up and I mixed them to create one big blush. Now initially, I actually had 2 of these pans full of blush, but when I dropped this and broke half of the eyeshadows, I actually broke the other pan of blush. So I'm kind of glad I broke it because I've been using this since like 2016, I believe, and I'm over it. I'm so over it. So I do regret buying that palette, especially because they ended up, like, they said the Prosecco Pop highlighter that was in that palette was going to be exclusive and it's brand new and you can only get in the palette. And then they released it as a single, and I think it's still available at like Sephora and on Becca's website. Like, I would have rather have spent the money on the individual highlighters than bought a face palette and be stuck with blushes for the rest of my life. I don't know how people pan blushes. I've literally been working on this single pan for like 2 years now. We're gonna get into one of the last products. This is gonna be a really short video. I intended it to be that way just to kind of get myself back into filming. But I have both of the Soph X and Makeup Revolution collab palettes. Now, one of them is the Extra Spice palette, which contains 18 eyeshadows, and then she has, I believe this was her first one, the Ultra eyeshadows, which has 24. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really love the layout of this palette, and I thought it was cool because you get these 2 rows of mattes here on the side, but honestly, they all look the same on my eyes. Like, either they blend into my skin tone or they look so similar that it literally doesn't make a difference. And these palettes are actually so similar. You get oranges, you get all of the neutrals, you have the same kind of like purples, the same reds, the same kind of gold colors. I regret buying this one just because I like this one so much more. And like I said, they're so similar, I did not need to buy both. Luckily, they were very inexpensive. I think they're about $12 to $15 each. So this is actually going to go in my project pan for 2021. Hopefully I can use it up, and then the Extra Spice will stay in my collection. Those are the products currently in my collection that I regret buying. It's mostly just because, I mean, if you can tell, these are a collab. This is a collab. The Jaclyn Hill stuff was a collab. The only thing that's like solely from the brand are the 2 e.l.f. products. I bought these 3, the face palette and the 2 eyeshadow palettes, because they were collabed. It was in this like time in my life where if it was a collab, I had to have it. And that's because collabs used to be so special. They were very like few and far apart. And now there's like a collab every single week. And all of this is going to go in my project pan for 2021. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!